look, let's get on to best walkouts and best walkout music and performances, because it's been pretty fun putting some of these lists together, and I'm enjoying this one as well. So you kick us off. We're going to go back and forth. We'll go one and one. So you start us off.
We'll play a bit of walkout bingo. Okay, this is one of my favourites. I'll start with Stevie Spark. The Viking entrance, the Viking drums. I think that's just it gets your blood. Everything's boiling. It just pumps your heart rate up. There's something about when there's like I wouldn't call it a marching band, but like a drumming band. When they start drumming, it's just like you can tell it's war. That's one of my favorites, Stevie Spark, and he lives up to it too. He's a Viking. He's a warrior.
Yeah, that is a great one. I remember when he fought Jack Brubacher on the Gallen Brown undercard. We were like, the dressing rooms were like just out the back, and so Steve and his corner were all waiting in this sort of, I don't know, it was like a hall or something, like a little area. And I was like, well, I saw all the drums and stuff. I was like, I'm just gonna stand here because this looks like it's gonna be sick. And then they made him wait for like 5 minutes, and I don't know what they were doing. They were doing some kiss cam or something out in the crowd or whatever. And I was just sitting there thinking, going, man, I couldn't handle that. Like, he's just waiting, walking around, warming up. I was like, dude, I couldn't. The nerves would be shot. But
Customata used to say that period between like the warm up and the fight, he's like, that breaks a lot of men. And I feel when you're in there, that is the longest 15 minutes of your whole life. That is just it's torture. And then as soon as the walkout music starts, you're like, it's good. We're ready to go. We're ready to go.
I remember I just on that, I can't remember who it was. Someone was telling me, a UFC fighter was saying that you can do all the preparation and everything, but it's when they close the cage and the click of the lock goes down, you can see it sometimes, and guys just go, oh fuck, because it's just the referee, the other bloke, and now it's real. You can't train for that sound.
It's definitely I wish everyone could have one amateur fight just to experience what it's like to get in the ring, look straight across the opponent, know that they're trying to knock you out, you're going to try to knock them out, and then you're there in that moment. I remember when I first started the amateurs, it was probably still like my 10th or 11th fight, and I was just looking across and it's like, why am I like me right now? Why do I have to be me? I remember just thinking, I would rather be anyone else in the room but me right now. And then you get over that, you learn, and then you get to a point where you can't wait to get in the ring. Yeah, the before's torture, but yeah,
that's so refreshing to hear people say that. Rob Whittaker did an interview not long ago, and he said, like, fight day leading up to the fight, getting your hands wrapped, all that. Even now, he's fought the best in the world and been a world champion. He still goes, why do I do this? Why?
Yeah, 100%.
But then once you fight, it's all
like, I can't wait to go again. Yeah. It's like anything in life. Yeah.
I'm going to start off with, it's a double because it was two. You can't take one without the other. It was Hunter Ioane and Jacob NG in Canberra late last year, I think it was, on the Brock Jarvis undercard. So Hunter Ioane walks out to a Fijian and then a Samoan song, and he's dancing out, and it's just great vibes. And then Jacob NG walks out to his song, and he's dancing as well. And Hunter's in the ring dancing. Man, it was so cool.
that was pure entertainment. That was watching that. You thought, like, this is better than the fight, and then the fight lived up to that. That was just a whole crazy. That was that fight of the year last year with Oz Boxing? It was.
It must have been pretty close. It
must have been close.
Either that or Ty Telford and Dara Foley. Those were my two.
That was a cracker. If you had to encompass the whole thing with the walkouts and the fight, I don't think you can beat that one for a long time. And that was awesome.
And that was just, like I said, the fight was amazing, back and forth. Everyone's hitting the deck and there's blood everywhere. So Jacob NG he was pretty ill after that fight. I remember seeing him like an hour or so after. He's just like dazed and I thought, shit, he's not in a good way. Obviously, he was all right,
Yeah.
but awesome
He's a
walkouts,
warrior.
recent fights. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a warrior, that dude. He's lived in Thailand, fought Muay Thai. He gets knocked down all the time, but he just bounces straight back up and gets back to work. It's like, yeah.
Has he got a fight lined up? Another one? You heard anything?
Don't know. I'm not sure. I think he is at the end of the year. I'm not sure if he's on the Justin Frost card, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, he'd be active. He's always active, that guy.
Nice one. Who you got next?
All right. I think we're going to go Tim Tszyu with the Zoo Castle.
Yeah.
His whole playlist when he walks out is pretty enjoyable. My favorite is another one, Bites the Dust, when he walks out and playing the Bee Gees, and he's so relaxed, and then it just goes dum, dum, dum. Another one, and then you're just like, oh shit, like Tim's gonna win. Like you just like, you see him walk out, and then you see the other guy in the ring. You're just like, man, Tim's like, you just know he's got him. When you just feel like, yeah, you're like, all right, you've believed him at that point. You're like, yeah, another one bites the dust.
Yeah, I think it was the Hogan fight where they had the huge banner that dropped down.
Yeah, they had Latrell go knock on the door and stuff.
Yeah.
Was that the one?
Yeah, that was the one. That was also, I remember, first, when Tim sort of first come on pay-per-view and stuff like that, it must have been 2019. And he just had this long playlist. And it was like, oh, yeah, what's going on here? But now they've got there's fireworks and fire and everything coming down, man. It's amazing.
Did Latrell get in trouble for that? Wasn't he meant to be in a bubble when he was knocking on the door on main event?
I think they got an exemption for that one or something. Or
okay.
Because Latrell, Cody Walker, and stuff. I remember a few headlines, but they got an official exemption from Andrew Abdo, I think, to be able to.
Oh, there you go.
Go up there.
I remember watching it, thinking, "Isn't that dude meant to be in the bubble?"
And they were. I saw them a couple of times that night. They were masked up. They weren't like in the crowd or anything. They were, as I suppose, socially distanced as you could be, and they were.
He'd be pretty hard to miss if he was meant to be in hiding. He's a giant. Like, it'd be pretty hard to miss him in the crowd.
Yeah. Although boxing crowd there's a few big boys going around.
Yeah, true. All right, who you got next?
Who am I going to go next? I'm going to go with Paul Gallen. A particular one that I remember is when he fought Lucas Brown in Wollongong, and it's the State of Origin theme music. I don't think they have it anymore, but I just remember here's Paul Gallen, and the Origin music starts, and you can't help but just get G'd up. I see there just
100%.
And then he just walks out like all business, like there's no just a t-shirt on or whatever, nothing else, and just gets you pumped, man.
Especially if you're from Queensland or New South Wales, as soon as you hear the music, you know what it is, and then you're tuned in straight away. Yeah, and then it's what I was spewing that Justis Huni didn't walk out in a Queensland Origin jersey. I thought that would have been the best thing ever. That's like the best opportunity, but I suppose sponsors and everything to deal with, but that would have been the perfect time. The Origin music, New South Wales, Paul Gallen, the Origin jersey, but yeah, that is a good one. I really enjoy that one.
You go.
It must be a trigger for him when he hears that music. It's just like a let's go sort of thing.
Yeah, and it just switches on. Like maybe Justice didn't wear the Queensland jersey on account of the scoreline in the series.
Here we go. That was actually before they started, when the worst Origin team ever beat New South Wales last year. This was before this year. Okay. Leave that alone, will we? I will go Michael Katsidis. I'll go Mick Katsidis when he used to walk out with the Greek Spartan helmet. He used to yell and carry on. I remember when he walked out and he was fighting, was it Marquez? It wasn't Marquez when he said, "What are you looking at?" Do you remember that? He went to the center of the ring and he was pumped and then the ref said, "Any questions?" And then he screamed at his opponent, "What are you looking at?" what are you looking at? Oh, you've got to get. Oh, we'll have to put the
Oh,
YouTube
I gotta
version of
go
that.
find it.
It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. He's wide-eyed. He come out in his Spartan helmet. He had his Greek tattoos, and then he says, "Any question?" He says, "What are you looking at?" And then I was like, "Holy shit, this dude is wired."
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember one of those fights he had in the UK. Ricky Burns, maybe. Michael Witt, former Warrior, former Parramatta Eel, former Manly Seagull. I think he was in his corner, walked out with him that night.
Right.
And
is that the one where he dropped him and then the ref kicked the towel out, then he got dropped?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the fight, unless I'm mixing a couple of fights together, but it was something like that.
That was crazy.
Just awesome. And not like nowadays you see heaps of guys wearing masks and whatever, but this is like 10, 15 years ago kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he was sort of almost at the forefront of it.
Yeah, that one you're thinking is Graham Earl. Graham Earl. I can't think of the one that I'm thinking of. Oh, it's Robert Guerrero. Watch that. They go, and both of them are warriors, and he's staring at him. He's just part. I was like, "What are you looking at?" I was like, "Holy shit! Who would even think to say that?" Like, obviously, he's looking at you. You must have that in your head somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, it was a strange one.
There was another one, and that maybe it was the Marquez fight where the ring announcer was actually Bruce Buffer from the UFC, not Michael Buffer. I don't know how that worked out.
Yeah, right.
I went last year during lockdown when there was literally no sports on. I went back and watched a whole lot of Michael Kitseda's fights. And I was like, fuck, that's Bruce Buffer. What's going on here? Weird situation.
I think he first got his gig because Michael couldn't do a few, and then he said, "Do you want to cover for me?" Because they had a weird story of how they're half brothers, and they didn't know until they were older. They didn't know until they were in their 20s or something like that. And then Michael got Bruce into it, and then he got him a start, and then he took off with the UFC kind of thing. So it was pretty cool. Pretty cool story.
Had drinks with Bruce Buffer in Melbourne for a UFC once. He was just we're at like the hotel bar, and he was just there.
Yeah,
and we're like, Bruce Buffer. There's about 5 of us. And he'd come over and he had a glass of wine. He just had a chat and was telling us all these mad stories. And legendarily nice guy. You wouldn't know that he's like super famous or anything like that. So
same as Michael. We met him in Monaco when Trent Broadhurst fought Dimitri Bivol. He was just sort of cruising around the hotel with his 20-year-old wife, and then just cruising around. Was happy to have a chat with everyone. Cool sort of dude.
I heard. I was told once that he takes his own iron to iron his suits. Like when he travels around the world or whatever.
Oh, really?
It's like an iron from Kmart or whatever, Walmart or something.
Yeah.
And he does his own ironing of all his suits. So
got to look good when you everyone's got the eyes on you. You got to look the part, eh?
But a man of the people too. He does his own work.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right, who you got next?
Who's up next? So I'm up next. So I'm going to go. I'm on a sort of a vibe here. So I'm going to go with Hardman, Isaac Hardman, when he walks out to horses.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And full disclosure, I used to hate that song. I just never used to like it. The chorus obviously bangs, but like everything leading up to it, I'm like, man, this is a drag. I think you watch enough Isaac Hardman fights and he's walking out, and yeah, man, I'm around it now. So
that's huge. That's huge that you didn't like it.
I know. Maybe
that's a cult classic.
Maybe it's an Australian, non-Australian thing. But
that's funny.
Yeah.
When I don't know if I should say this, but when Isaac walked out last time, one of my mates, he likes to party a bit. He texted me saying, "What the hell, man? Isaac's already at kick-ons," because he says that's a song you play in the morning after a big night. He said Isaac's gone straight to kick-ons. But that's a great song. Everyone in the crowd loves it. It's mad.
Maybe I just didn't know the verses enough to get into it, and now I'm learning it a bit more. So I'm around it now. Also, the Huni Christian Zoy fight where they just did it in the no crowd or anything. Hardman walks out, and I was just sitting there, I don't know, filming or whatever, and he gave me the fist bump. So that was mad too. So maybe that's why I like the song. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Hardman's bringing Dale Braithwaite to the people, keeping the legend alive. Righto. I think I'm going to go Django and Justice. When they fought, I'm going to go both of them. Django from Fortitude, the same gym as me, he walked out with an army of people, and it was like the place lit up. The whole place was there for him and Justice. It just went crazy. And he was pumped up. Everyone was pumped. You couldn't help but just be excited. I don't know if it portrayed that on TV, but it was insane atmosphere. That the whole fight was insane. Like, I remember people that hadn't even been fight, like, that's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That brought people back to the next sort of Django Justice, sort of either one of their fights. That was massive. I'm not sure. Justice has got a pretty cool playlist of what he walks out to. I remember the last one was Lenny Kravitz. I can't remember what that one was, but he's got a pretty good playlist too, Justice.
Yeah, the Django one that did come across TV. That was mad. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
People messaging like on the group work chat, like, just, this is sick. Like,
yeah,
people that wouldn't usually watch a fight like that, and
yeah. Being in that venue too, the venue at Fortitude Music Hall. Have you been there? Yeah. It's like you're over the fight the whole time. There's no bad seat in the whole place. So when it kicks off, it really kicks off. The atmosphere is insane.
Nice. I've got a Justis Huni story. So I've got a couple of just like not the best, but Justice, when he fought Arsene Fosso at in the Fortitude Valley Musical, he came out and he was walking just past the ring to go up to the steps, and he must have been walking past, I think it was the officials or judges or whoever, and he's bouncing along like this, and he elbows this old bloke in the head, and he actually turns around and says, apologizes, like, during his ring walk. Just a funny moment, but also I suppose a glimpse into the really nice guy that Justis Huni is.
Yeah, maybe it was on purpose. Maybe there's somebody just told me, I'm going to get this dude one way or another.
Someone gave a couple of rounds to Django in the last fight or something. Yeah,
that's it. That's who I've got next. That was a good one. That was awesome.
Okay, so my next one is Paul Fleming, particularly at the Sydney Super Fight, because I didn't know it was going to happen. And then I'd just been backstage to interview someone who'd fought earlier in the night. Maybe, I think it was Liam Wilson, maybe. And I just walked out to go back to the ring, and the walkout was literally just starting. So I was probably walking about 10 meters behind it. Just, man, it was awesome.
That's one of the best ones I've ever seen. That just lit up the whole arena. The theatrics and the effort that would have taken to put that together. That's top 3 I've ever seen, that one.
Yeah. And like everything coming into it, Paul Fleming coming back off 2 years off. You didn't know whether he was going to fight, and even coming in fighting Bruno Tarimo that night, like, massive stadium event. It was kind of like the first big crowd sort of event after sort of COVID. The last 2, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They don't call him Showtime for nothing, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Righto. I'm going to mention my favourite one of all time. Jack Brubacher in his last fight, when he did the stripper My Pony walkout. That goes together with Stevie Sparks' Viking one that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching Stevie, I was like, man, that was sick. And then Jack came out, and then it was like, it paused for a second. I was like, what's he doing here? And then the song started playing, Genuine My Pony, and then he started with his cowboy hat. He started air humping. Oh, man, that was hilarious. And then it was so funny because Jeff Fenix, his trainer, is standing there like so staunch, just like, and then Jack's walking out having the best time. I just thought, who even thinks of that? Who even thinks to be that entertaining at that time? Usually people are pretty focused on their fight. They pick a song, they enjoy it, you walk out. But he just, that was just another level, a whole other take of boxing. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I don't know whoever thought of that one. Jack, one of his mates. That's my all-time favorite.
And I like the fact that he's like, it wasn't just a random thing. Like, it sort of built up to that, like with the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And people to call him Brokeback Brubaker, like it all sort of formed into like almost like a character. But again, the no idea how you'd pull that off 2 minutes before stepping into the ring to fight, like build a different
I'd love
stuff.
to know. I'd love to know what his mindset was at that time compared to being in the ring. Because usually when you walk out, you're pretty pumped up, and then you get in the ring and you fight. I wonder if he had to like change his mindset because he walks out, he's doing this stripper dance, and then he has to fight. I wonder how that worked in his mind. I wonder if it was a relaxation thing for him. Like, I don't know. That was an interesting one, but we'll have to get Jack on and ask about it.
I really want to know if Jeff knew about it as well, or how much he'd like, to the extent, like what.
Yeah, 100%.
Can probably confirm without actually having to ask Jeff that he hated it.
Yeah. That's a great question. I would love to. Because Jeff didn't even, thinking back, he used to put his hands on Johnny Lewis, and he used to just walk straight out. He never even used to look at the crowd.
Yeah.
Different.
When Jack fought, I think it was when Jack weighed in to fight Tim, and he, strips off, weighed in, and I was like, oh, we'll face the guys off. And Jack is just wearing his undies.
Versace undies.
And Jeff stops him and he goes, put your pants on.
Oh, man.
Oh, so good.
He's a character. We need more of them in Australian boxing.
100%. All right, I've got one. My next one is Matty Tapia. Now, I know he's had a couple of different ones, and they're all pretty cool. But I think first time I saw him live, he was coming out with like a Mexican theme, like with a sombrero on and a mask, I think, as well. That was sick. And then I think we've spoken about it before, but when he came out with the tradies jersey on a couple of months back, that was mad as well. Just good vibes around him.
He came out with the Mexican mask and the Mexican music when I fought him, but I was already in the ring and I was facing the other way, so I didn't actually see it. My trainer turned and said, I was looking at where he was going to come. My trainer turned around and said, look at me, don't pay attention to him. So I actually haven't seen it. I'm going to have to go back and see it. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Yeah.
But yeah, another one that is mad every time he walks out. Do you have any more?
I want to mention Anthony Mundine and Danny Green, because they were the original. Because I remember Mundine's very first fight, he had like the fire come up, because Choc was on pay-per-view for every single fight of his except for, I think it was John Wayne Park. That was like was that the first one?
Probably.
That was probably the first one that he wasn't on a pay-per-view. So from the very get-go, he's been doing crazy ring walks. When he fought Jeff, I was in Jeff's corner and the whole crowd went berserk for Mundine. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
His ring walks, and then Danny Green with his Men at Work down under overseas. That's always pretty cool to represent. I think Andrew or Jason walk out to that as well.
Yeah. That's just a great tune, right? Like, I remember when Danny Green fought Roy Jones. I think I just moved to Australia, and it was one of the first it was definitely the first boxing event I went to over here. But when they played that song, when he walked out, it was sick. But I remember they had John Williamson, the guitar player, singer guy. I don't know who this dude was, man. I've only been here a couple of months. But they had him play that True Blue song. And so he played it, and then they must have said, man, we're running late. You need to keep going. So he just played it a second time. But everyone loved it both times.
You can't. I would have loved to see that. That's the dream for a young Aussie kid, to have True Blue playing when you walk out.
Yeah.
Especially against someone like Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah. What a fight.
Yeah, I think we definitely. Yeah, I think we definitely would have missed a few here, but just off the top of our heads.
Yeah.
There's some really good ones in there.
I've got a couple more like sort of notable mentions and also like moments. And I might need some audience help if you're watching and listening. When Jai Oppetai also had a sick one when he walked out to fight Mark Flanagan. That was mad. But earlier that night, I can't remember who it was. Someone walked out to the ring, and a couple of blokes in like green morph suits sprinted out and ran through the ring as well. And I don't know whether it was a part of the walkout or if it was like a stunt or just like a gate crash type thing.
Yeah.
Someone let me know. because I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. Jai's one was also, he was the main event when Django fought Justice. So they fought, and then Jai fought Ben Kelleher, and he had a pretty good walkout that day too. He had I can't think of his name, but it's a mad song. That's My Team, the one that gets played on every Instagram story.
Yeah.
That's my he rapped him out, so that was pretty sick too.
That's mad. Another honourable mention. I've got Ben Sava when he fought Kyron Dryden. This is a few years ago now at the Star. He walked out to the Lion King song. I think it was Just Can't Wait to Be King. And it was just mad. Like, it was sick.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. To even think of that one, that was a good one.
Yeah.
It
I
takes
think,
a lot of creativity to do all these, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. Like, there's some bangers out there. And my last one, and again, I might have got the fights or the dates mixed up, but I'm pretty sure it was when Tim Tszyu fought Steve Fernandez. It was on Billy Dibbs' undercard when he fought Tevin Farmer. Fernandez walks out to the ring. He's about to step up, and the officials run up to him, and they're like, "No, wait, you can't go in." He still had his diamond-studded earrings in, and they wouldn't let him fight. But he was all gloved up, and no one could get the things up. No one could get the studs out.
No way.
100% true story. I think it was Tim fight. There were a couple of blokes on the undercard. I think he probably flew in from Indonesia, but I think it was that one.
It's crazy it got that far to the ring. Like, someone signing off the gloves, or anyone didn't say, "Wait, whoa."
Yeah, you can't do that.
So did they get him out? Did they tape him?
They eventually got him out. It probably took them longer to get the earrings out than the fight lasted. I think it was over in about 40 seconds.
Yeah, right.
That was another good one.
Walkouts. They're a really fun thing for a boxer. They can be something like Jack's, where it's all entertainment, or like if you look at Stevie Sparks, I reckon you can tell that gets him in the mood to fight.
Yeah.
Even mine, when I think it was my third pro fight, one of my good mates, Jackson, his dad was a pro boxer, Craig Peterson. He fought Jimmy Thunder a couple times, and he walked out to the this song called Walk of Life by the Dire Straits. And then I just thought, man, that'd be cool. So I played that as my song so Jackson could, because his dad died when he was real young. So I just thought that'd be an awesome thing for him to see someone walk out to his dad's song, and he loved it. So walkouts can do, they can be a lot of different things. They're more, and then other people just they don't even pick a song. They don't care.
And I think we've managed to get both sort of ends of the spectrums. You got the Jack Brubacher and Jacob MG end, and then your Gallen and Hardman, just like all business walkouts.
Yeah.
So there's room for all of them, and whatever gets you pumped up as well, I guess. I got to shout out also Canelo's last one, when he fought Billy Joe Saunders, and he had like the full band come out on stage.
Oh, that's right, the mariachi
the full
band,
mariachi band. Man, I love that. People were hating on it,
right.
but I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
But
even Jeff's horns walkout, when he used to walk out, when you'd hear that, it was the Seven Nation Army White Stripes song, and you hear that dum 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 dum, and then you'd walk out, and that was pretty spine tingling as well.
And the whole crowd starts doing it.
Yeah, they all start doing that same tune, what I just did, and then that's a good one too. I think Triple G and Kell Brook both walk out to that one as well.
Yeah, that's a mad one. And also, oh man, the last one I had on my list, Shannon O'Connell, because she walked out to Scribe.
Yeah, Scribe.
Anyone who walks out to Scribe is a legend in my book. So Shannon O'Connell, Nort Beauchamp as well, walks out to Scribe. So that's mad.
Here's a story about Shannon. Her ex-partner Ozan, we're really good mates, and we went and saw Scribe live at the Wynnum Tavern. So for those people that don't know, Wynnum, it's just like this dingy old tavern. We went and saw Scribe live, and we were waiting there for like 3 hours before he got there. And then he just rocked up. It was like 11:30. Everyone was blind by then. And then he played 3 songs. He's like, yeah, sweet. And then he went out the back and everyone thought he was coming back and he just left. it was pretty funny, to be honest. But yeah, he played like dreaming, not many. I don't even know if he played any more than that. He just he was like, all right, I'm going to cruise. And then that was it.
He knows what the people are after. That's why. Look, these are the two bangers that I've got.
When was that? That's true. That would have been 2016.
Yeah, right. Because he's had a life, man, since he's
crazy
jail and drugs and lost his fortune and stuff. So
yeah,
what a life. What a note to end it on.
Yeah, I was gonna say just left that one out. Oh, well. There you go. Yeah, you go.
Oh, look. Anyone who walks out to Scribe, not many, awesome. Anyone who walks out to Roy Jones can't be touched. Also, love it.
Yeah, that's going to be the most used tune in boxing.
Yeah, but I love it every time. I love it every time.
True, very true.
But you got to back it up, I suppose, as well.
That's the key. You got to be able to fight after all this. But then again, you had that dude that I can't think of his name. Even like you used to have Prince Naseem and stuff. They could obviously fight. Do you remember that dude? He walked out and he did that massive dance and he jumped over the ropes and then he got knocked out straight away. He did that full dance. I'm gonna have to remember his name, but like you said, you have to be able to fight in the end of it. It's
on all the cocky boxes get destroyed. Like it's the first clip that comes.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. He full does the dance and the dude just chins him. Oh well,
so good.
Bit of fun. Bit of fun.
That wraps up another episode of the Puncher's Chance podcast.